Welcome to The Guy Cooks. I'm Blair Koss. Today we're going to make a basic turkey stock, and we're going to assume it's in advance of Thanksgiving dinner. So we're 2 days away from Jen and I's theoretical Thanksgiving dinner. What we're going to do is start with about 3 or 4 pounds of turkey parts, because we don't have the turkey carcass yet. We haven't cooked it. So here I have a couple of turkey backs and turkey neck, 3.5 pounds. We're going to roast this in a hot oven for about 45 minutes to an hour. That's going to create some really nice browning and fond cook's flavor out of the meat fibers and fat. Then we're going to add it to a lot of water and take a lot of time to simmering all afternoon to bring the flavors out of these wonderful vegetables and the cooked meats. First step is to have the turkey parts on a nice large baking sheet. We're going to place these in a 450-degree oven. Jen thinks that I'm crazy for making my own stock in this, but this is Thanksgiving, or at least our theoretical Thanksgiving, and it's worth the time. It's a rainy Sunday afternoon anyways, and what was I going to do with the afternoon besides reading books and researching some recipes? So I highly recommend that you try this. You'll be well rewarded for it with all of your Thanksgiving dishes. Have fun with it. The first thing we're going to do is just rough chop up carrots, celery, and an onion. They're going to get boiled away for like 5 hours in the stew pot with the chicken parts, so don't need to be pretty. Just want, again, about 1-inch pieces. The larger ends I will probably cut in half. Again, same rough chop on celery. Take the rough end off. These are pretty big pieces. I like to cut them in half and just, again, through about 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch size pieces. Next one, we're just going to quarter, maybe a few more pieces than that, of the onion. Don't need to be fancy. Onion really leaches its flavor out into the broth when you cook it this long, so no need for extra work here. About 8 pieces right there. One thing to note is, depending on the size of your carrots, your celery, and your onions, the idea here is that about half of the mass of the vegetables are the onions, and the other half equal parts carrot, equal parts celery. That's going to give you the best balanced flavor out there. So something to think about. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just watch the size of the carrots and such. The other part that we're going to do is add quite a bit of herbs, and I went out and picked 5 large pieces of parsley. Lots of stem here, as you can see, plus the leaves, and they're just going to go in whole and boil down, but we're only going to add those about halfway through the simmering process. Same thing with the thyme. Got some beautiful fresh thyme pulled out of the herb garden. And one thing that people, I know there's controversy to this, but I believe, and I've experienced, that you can buy these fresh herbs at the grocery store and they're just fine. You don't need to have a garden plot out there. And in the wintertime here in Chautauqua, you know, we have snow on the ground, so there's no way I'm getting fresh herbs out of that herb garden out there. So I buy them from the grocery store. The key is to buy them and use them. So don't buy them, wait a week and a half, and then use them. So we have 5 nice sprigs of thyme, 2 bay leaves, and then we've got 2 garlic cloves. And if you like garlic, come from a family that loves garlic, then use extra garlic cloves. We're folks that, you know, like it a little bit, so just 2 or 3 decent sized ones here, crushed just a little bit with a knife, and that'll go in with the herbs as well. It's been 1 hour. I've flipped the turkey parts once in the middle of that. And now it's time to pull it out of the oven. You can see that we have a lovely browning on the top of these chicken backs and the neck, and a lot of fond built up, which we're going to make good use out of. First thing we're going to do is just take the parts, pull them off the sheet, put them into the large stock pot I have here. Little pieces of fatty skin go in there. Now I'm going to deglaze this pan with a half a bottle of white wine. This is a nice crisp Chardonnay from Chile. You could also use a Riesling or Sauvignon Blanc, just something dry and light. And I know I said a half a bottle, but I also preach that you should measure things, so I'm going to measure out right at about 2 cups here. It's going to take a little bit of scraping here. I'm not going to show it all to you, but it's worth the effort. We're going to bring up a lot of flavor off of this pan. And that's just going to be gold in the bank when it comes to making your dressing, your gravies, your other recipes. Right, it took me a couple of minutes to scrape the pan of the brown bits, and now I'm going to pour those into the pot that I put the chicken parts in earlier that came out of the oven. I have to tell you, it already smells like Thanksgiving here. I used about half the wine that I poured to deglaze. I'm going to add the rest of it now. Got the carrot, celery, and onion that we cut up earlier, all going into the pot. So we got 8 quarts of water going into the pot. And our goal is going to be to simmer this here all afternoon. And for those of you who thought I was kidding, it is a rainy Sunday afternoon here in Chautauqua. And so this is going to boil for about 5 hours total, and it's going to drop the volume of that liquid down considerably, concentrating those flavors, and it's going to be spectacular when we're done. So now we're going to move the pot onto a medium-high stove. And we're going to bring it to a nice full boil, and it's going to take a few minutes here to do that. It's taken quite a while to bring this up to boil, about 20 minutes, but now we've gotten there. Going to lower the heat from the high, medium, high, down to about a medium low. I'm going to have to play with that a little bit to maintain a nice low simmer. It has been 3 hours of simmering. The house smells like Thanksgiving at this point. I'm really sad that I don't have a turkey to eat tonight. It's going to be salad, Jen tells me. It is time to add the parsley leaves and stems, our 2 garlic cloves, our 2 bay leaves, and our 5 sprigs of thyme. Just going to stir that in. And again, as a reminder, if you get a lot of foam buildup, make sure you skim a bit of that off every 30 minutes to an hour. Also, I do want to make a note that I had to turn it up to about medium high rather than medium low to maintain a simmer that I liked. And you can see that it has reduced down about 1/3 at this point. The liquid is reduced by about 2/3, and by the time we get all these solids out of here, we'll be left with about 6 cups of broth. Look at that beautiful golden stock there. And now we're left with a beautiful golden, super rich turkey stock. There's about 6 cups left in here, and that's going to be perfect for making stuffing and gravy and whatever other beautiful side dish you have planned.